All right, welcome to the show, everybody. It is Tuesday, August 30th, and I'm vibing right now, dog. I am vibing. I'm actually doing the show in the belly of the beast today. I am in Washington, D.C. I have a meeting later with President Joe Biden. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding about the Biden part, but I'm serious about the fact that I'm in the belly of the beast in Washington, D.C. Anyway, I have an awesome show for you guys lined up today. What do you think of this shirt? What do you guys think of this shirt? This is a crystal special. To me, it's got some 70s vibes to it. It's got some 70s vibes. I'm not sure it's the best on camera. It looks a little busy-ish on camera, you know what I'm saying? But, then again, nobody really trusts my fashion sensibilities, and everybody seems to trust Crystal's fashion sensibilities, so I'm going to leave it up to you guys in the court of opinion. What do you think of this shirt? Is it based or cringe, as the kids say? Anyway, so a lot of stuff to talk to you guys about today. I'm going to go into Trump's Truth Social app and let you know how that's going. Spoiler alert, not well. Then we have Sean Hannity threatening a lawsuit against John Fetterman. We have Sandy Hook families going after Alex Jones in a way that's even above and beyond the, whatever it was, $49 million settlement that he now has to pay them. I have an absolutely apocalyptic scenario coming out of China where an extreme heat wave is totally upending the country. That story is actually kind of scary, if you ask me. And then later on, we'll expose how Dr. Oz is a complete and utter fraud. He's a scam artist. More Perfect Union did a great video breaking down a lot of the specifics behind his scam artistry. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So Charles Gasparino here of Fox Business Network tweeted the following. Scoop. Trump's Truth Social facing significant financial difficulties, vendors say. Its web hosting company says it is owed $1.6 million and hasn't been paid for months. Uh-oh. Could it be that the amount of money that Trump is making from Truth Social is not what they originally projected it might be? Interesting. So let me give you a little bit more here. Trump's social media app facing financial fallout. Truth Social's finances may be in significant disarray, sources say. Former President Donald Trump's social media outfit, Truth Social, is locked in a bitter battle with one of its vendors, claiming that the platform is stiffing the company out of more than $1 million in contractually obligated payments. Fox Business has learned if the allegations are true, they would suggest that Truth Social's finances are in significant disarray. People with direct knowledge of the matter say. Internet infrastructure company RightForge is said to be among Truth Social's largest vendors and creditors, these people say. In October, RightForge announced it entered into an agreement to host Truth Social, which Trump helped create after he was banned by Twitter following the January 6th riots. RightForge now contends that Truth Social has reneged on its contractually obligated monthly payments for setting up the platform's web servicing infrastructure, according to three people with direct knowledge of this matter. So they go on to say here that Truth Social only made 3 payments and ceased to make any payments since around March. And Truth Social owes it around $1.6 million and is threatening legal action to recoup the money. All right, but it gets even deeper than that, guys. So this is in Newsweek. Company behind Trump's Truth Social lost $6.5 million and stock plunged 72%. It's not working. Now, I'm sure you guys remember the rollout to Truth Social was a bit of a mess. There was literally a waiting list to get in there. You had to wait in order to get in there. Truth Social is basically Twitter, but just right-wing. So it's like the MAGA version of Twitter. And I don't know, it never really seemed to pop off. Now, I think these are obvious signs that Truth Social is in trouble. But there's also another point to be made here, which is that Trump actually has a very long history of doing stuff exactly like this. In other words, like not paying his debts. So I remember this from when he was first running. President Trump owes workers who built his hotel $2 million, lawsuit alleges. Trump hasn't paid workers for their round-the-clock work before opening his D.C. hotel, they claim. President Donald Trump is being sued by contractors who claim that he stiffed them for work they performed at the Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C. during last year's presidential election. The lawsuit, which was filed last week by the Maryland company AES Electrical, also known as Free State Electrical, claims that Trump forced them to accelerate work. so that his hotel would be ready for a campaign event and a soft opening in September. As a result, AES Electrical claims its employees had to put in 7-day work weeks with 10 to 14-hour shifts for roughly 7 weeks. They also claim to have been required to put in a comparable amount of labor to prepare the hotel for its October 26th grand opening. AES Electrical claims that Trump still owes them about $2 million for their extra labor. They have been paid $15 million so far. A spokesperson for the Trump Organization told NBC News that in developments of this scale and complexity, the filing of nominal liens at the conclusion of construction is not uncommon as part of the closeout process. In the case of Trump International Hotel, Washington, D.C., the Trump Organization has invested over $200 million into the redevelopment of the historic old post office and is incredibly proud of what is now considered to be one of the most iconic hotels anywhere in the world. So, now, I also remember there were allegations like this as well with a lot of his New York properties where electricians were being stiffed and plumbers were being stiffed, and he has a track record of doing stuff like this. This is even separate from the conversation about Trump University. And you guys all know about Trump University. He had to pay out like $25 or $27 million over Trump University. The fact that it was a scam university. There were classic scam tactics that were used, like upselling, for example. So the guy, he's just a shady businessman. He's just a fraudster and a con artist. And so, in other words, this is a long way of me saying either Trump's Truth Social is in serious trouble financially, or Trump is just Trump and he always stiffs people, or it's a mix of both of those things. But either way, it ain't looking good. But beyond that, everybody needs to understand this is the problem with the right-wing approach to issues with social media companies, because their argument's always like, well, just beat them in the marketplace. So you just come up with a new company, maybe that new company will pop off, that new company will be, really impressive, and then they'll take market share from the Twitters and the Facebooks and stuff like that. No. The fact of the matter is these social media companies are the new public square. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. They're the new public square. So what you need to do is regulate them like public utilities. The only way you're going to fix these problems with social media is to regulate them like public utilities and basically expand First Amendment protections. And you're never going to come up with some goofy-ass new right-wing social media outlet that overtakes the Twitters and the Facebooks, and then, wow, would you look at that? Free speech is now allowed in all these places. And by the way, it's not like Truth Social has free speech. In the same way that, remember when Mike Lindell, the MyPillow psycho, decided, I'm going to make a new free speech platform, and then, in the very first announcement about it, he was like, all right, so there's no cursing, there's no taking the Lord's name in vain, there's no pornography, there's no just speaking negative of people I like. It was just like a laundry list of you can't do any of these things. Right? So they don't even believe in free speech. But anyway, point remains, you can regulate the ones that exist. You should not just try to beat them with competition, because the ship has already sailed. They already are the new public square, and Truth Social is not going to be replacing it. Okay? So, but beyond that, Trump, stop being a deadbeat, pay your fucking bills, because we all know he's got hundreds of millions of dollars sitting around because he fleeced his supporters and committed fraud against his supporters a number of times, and he's probably got all these bank accounts flush with a lot of money. He just doesn't want to pay the people who do work for him. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.